Welcome to Rock's Previews, Reviews and Excerpts. This is the excerpt from Good Omens, the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes, which by authors Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, narrated by Martin Jarvis. It is the opening scene of the book, and gives reader and listeners the first taste of the ebook and audiobooks. It is the first 5 minutes of the 12 hours and 32 minutes of the first audiobook from Audible. This is a great book that has been made into a great show starring David Tennant as Crowley and Michael Sheen as Aziraphale. There is also a BBC Radio 4 dramatization available along with the audiobook. Sadly, Terry Pratchett passed March 12, 2015, but his writing partner and best-selling author in his own right Neil Gaiman has stepped in as a producer on both the BBC project and on the show. The show is going into its second season, based on ideas the authors had discussed before Pratchett's passing. The show and audiobook stay true to the book because of Gaiman's involvement, and has allowed him to add additional characters that would not have been part of the story till a second book. I will first explain the scene overall, then play the audiobook opening scene, followed by the Good Omens Season 1 Episode 1 in the beginning opening scene, just to give you a taste of both. The links for both are in the description. Point of view: Aziraphale. Crowley. In the beginning God explained that the earth was created in the year 4004 BC on October the 21st at 9:15 in the morning, which makes the earth a libra. And that the dinosaurs are a joke that paleontologists haven't discovered yet. And the audience is that the voice of God is Martin Jarvis, and that it is good. Good Omens, the beloved book by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett novel, is here, and I have the daunting task of recapping the first scene of the audiobook. So, buckle up and pop in your Queen cassette tape, because we are in for a wild and apocalyptic ride. After God explains the creation of the world, and that we are about to witness the end of days, in accordance with the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes, which as Adam and Eve are cast out of paradise, we see the angel Aziraphale watching them from atop the wall that surrounds the Garden of Eden. The serpent slithers up beside him, and transforms into the demon Crowley. Well, at the time he went by Crowley. They discuss God's decision to kick Adam and Eve out of the garden. Bit of an overreaction, if you ask me, retorts Crowley. Aziraphale says that God's divine plan must be obeyed, and Crowley points out that maybe, by putting a big tree full of delicious apples in the middle of a garden with a large do not touch sign on it, God wanted Adam and Eve to learn the difference between right and wrong, and that is actually a part of the divine plan. Otherwise, God would have put the tree on the moon or some other impossible to reach place. He then points out that Aziraphale used to have a flaming sword, and now it is mysteriously missing. Aziraphale confesses, as they watch Adam use the flaming sword to fight off a lion, that he gave the sword to Adam to help them survive in the wilderness, because Eve is already pregnant. He asks nervously if he made the right choice. Laughing, Crowley suggests that it would be funny if he, the demon, did the right thing, and Aziraphale, the angel, did the wrong thing. Aziraphale pales at the thought. The missing sword becomes a running gag on season 1 of the Good Omens series. As the world's first rainstorm lets loose, Aziraphale lifts his wing to shelter Crowley, and the world's oldest friendship begins.
Harper Audio presents Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Performed by Martin Jarvis. Copyright 1990 by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Production copyright 2009 by HarperCollins Publishers. Bohemian Rhapsody by Freddie Mercury, copyright 1975 B. Feldman & Company Limited, trading as Trident Music. All rights for US and Canada controlled and administered by Glenwood Music Corporation. All rights reserved. International copyright secured. In the beginning, it was a nice day. All the days had been nice. There had been rather more than 7 of them so far, and rain hadn't been invented yet. but clouds massing east of Eden suggested that the first thunderstorm was on its way, and it was going to be a big one. The angel of the eastern gate put his wings over his head to shield himself from the first drops. "I'm sorry," he said politely. "What was it you were saying?" "I said that one went down like a lead balloon," said the serpent. "Oh, yes," said the angel, whose name was Aziraphale. "I think it was a bit of an overreaction, to be honest," said the serpent. "I mean, first offense and everything. I can't see what's so bad about knowing the difference between good and evil, anyway." "It must be bad," reasoned Aziraphale, in the slightly concerned tones of one who can't see it either and is worrying about it. "Otherwise, you wouldn't have been involved." "Well, they just said get up there and make some trouble," said the serpent, whose name was Crowley, although he was thinking of changing it now. Crowley, he decided, was not him. "Yes, but you're a demon. I'm not sure if it's actually possible for you to do good," said Aziraphale. "It's down to your basic, nature. Nothing personal, you understand." "You've got to admit it's a bit of a pantomime, though," said Crowley. "I mean, pointing out the tree and saying, 'Don't touch' in big letters. Not very subtle, is it? I mean, why not put it on top of a high mountain or a long way off? Makes you wonder what he's really planning." "Best not to speculate, really," said Aziraphale. "You can't second-guess ineffability, I always say. There's right and there's wrong. If you do wrong when you're told to do right, you deserve to be punished." They sat in embarrassed silence, watching the raindrops bruise the first flowers. Eventually Crowley said, "Didn't you have a flaming sword?" "Yeah," said the angel. A guilty expression passed across his face and then came back and camped there. "You did, didn't you?" said Crowley. "It flamed like anything." Well, it looked very impressive, I thought." "Yes, but, lost it, have you?" "Oh, no. No, not exactly lost. More—" "Well?" Aziraphale looked wretched. "If you must know," he said, a trifle testily, "I gave it away." Crowley stared up at him. "Well, I had to," said the angel, rubbing his hands distractedly. "They looked so cold, poor things, and she's expecting already, and what with the vicious animals out there and the storm coming up, I thought, well, where's the harm? So I just said, look, if you come back, there's going to be an almighty row, but you might be needing this sword, so here it is. Don't bother to thank me, just do everyone a big favour, and don't let the sun go down on you here." He gave Crowley a worried grin. "That was the best course, wasn't it?" "I'm not sure it's actually possible for you to do evil," said Crowley sarcastically. Aziraphale didn't notice the tone. "Oh, I do hope so," he said. "I really do hope so. It's been worrying me all afternoon." They watched the rain for a while. "Funny thing is—"
Good Omens, The Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Hans Nutter, which by authors Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, narrated by Martin Jarvis and publisher by William Morrow, paperback and Harper Audio. Here is some bonus footage of the scene from Good Omens Season 1 Episode 1 in the beginning by Prime Video.
We need to begin earlier, a little more than 6,000 years earlier to be precise, just after the beginning. It starts, as it will end, with a garden. In this case, the Garden of Eden, and with an apple. It was a nice day. All the days had been nice. There had been rather more than 7 of them so far, and rain hadn't been invented yet. But the storm clouds gathering east of Eden suggested that the first thunderstorm was on its way, and it was going to be a big one.
Oh, that went down like a lead balloon.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, well, that went down like a lead balloon.
Yes, it did, rather.
Bit of an overreaction, if you ask me. First offensive, I think. I can't see what's so bad about knowing the difference between good and evil anyway.
Well, it must be bad.
Crowley.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have tempted them into it.
Oh, they just said get up there and make some trouble.
Well, obviously, you're a demon. It's what you do.
Not very subtle of the Almighty, though. Fruit tree in the middle of a garden with a don't touch sign. Why not put it on the top of a high mountain? Or on the moon? Makes you wonder what God's really planning.
Best not to speculate. It's all part of the great plan. It's not for us to understand. It's ineffable.
The great plan's ineffable.
Exactly. It is beyond understanding and incapable of being put into words.
Didn't you have a flaming sword? You did. It was flaming like anything. What happened to it? Lost it already, have you?
Gave it away.
You what?
I gave it away. There are vicious animals. It's going to be cold out there, and she's expecting already. And I said, here you go, flaming sword, don't thank me. And don't let the sun go down on you here. I do hope I didn't do the wrong thing.
Oh, you're an angel. I don't think you can do the wrong thing.
Thank you. Oh, it's been bothering me.
I've been worrying too. What if I did the right thing with the whole eat the apple business? Demon can get into a lot of trouble for doing the right thing. Be funny if we both got it wrong, eh? If I did the good thing and you did the bad one.
No. Wouldn't be funny at all.
Good Omens. Being a narrative of certain events occurring in the last 11 years of human history, in strict accordance, as shall be shown, with the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter, Witch.
With another book excerpt. This has been Rock's book previews, reviews, and excerpts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Please utilize the links in the description to read or listen to this book if this has piqued your interest. Both these things help the channel and allow me to put out more videos. Thank you for staying all the way through, and see you next time through the wormhole.